Welcome back. It's winter part 2, and we have a lot to talk about. I hope you enjoy this live stream and want to thank everybody that's been supporting. We've had multiple people, had 4 donations while we were off air sent to the Cash App, and I thank you a lot for that. Y'all the reason that this channel is able to keep going, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. So buckle up, prepare yourselves. It's winter part 2, and it's going to get pretty cold. I remember when I was 11 or 12 years old, and I went to sleep one particular night, and there was nothing special about this night. I've told this story before to people who were on my panel in the past. Also, it looks like right now we might be having a bit of a signal issue. Looks like we're having a bit of a signal issue. So we're going to just wait a second. Confirm that everything's okay on our end. How's everything looking? Are you on the stream? It's fine. All right, let's see how we're looking for a second right here, guys. Give us 1 second. Give us 1 second. We're just trying to tighten everything up. Let's see here. All right, stream is in excellent condition. We're doing okay? Everybody's okay? All right, let's get into it. So I remember, and I went to sleep this particular night. Is it loading okay for you? There was nothing, once again, crazy about this particular night. But I had a dream that I could fly. So I was 11 or 12 years old, and I was flying around all over the place. And it was the most amazing, fantastic dream I could have ever expected. It was the most amazing dream I'd ever seen in my life. It was wild. I was astral projecting, if you will, gliding across the entire world. The entire world was all purple, and the buildings were purple. The sky was purple. It's one of the reasons why I'm actually fascinated with the color purple today. That's why you see so much purple going on in my live streams and things of that nature. There was a reason for that. And so I woke up really excited, and I went to school the next day. I told my mom about the dream. And of course, she looked at me as any mother would look, toward her child in a, encouraging type of manner, and to say, "Oh, well, congratulations, son. I'm really happy that happened for you." Almost to say that she didn't necessarily even really believe it, because the outlandish, type of dream that it was so real. It felt like it wasn't even a dream. It was amazing. And so I went to school. I came back home the next day, got ready for bed, and the dream, to my surprise, picked up exactly where I left off. It was crazy. It was almost like I hadn't missed a single beat. And the dream continued. And then I woke up the next day, went back to school, and the dream continued again on that third day. And on that third day, I didn't dream anymore. So we're on day 2, night 2 of the winter storm. And we've left off talking about Kevin and Alan. And so we're going to go ahead and follow this up right now. But I want to caution you once again, if you're a gentleman, that what you hear might offend you a bit, but it's the truth. Ultimately, it's the truth. And we want to get to the point to where we can continuously wake up in the same truths that we sleep in, that we live in the same truths online as offline, right? Let's get into today's stream. This is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. Winter is here for Black Men Part 2. I was writing these show notes, and I was kind of thinking about all the shows that we've done in the past and how everything is just really adding up and coming together right now. Now, Alan Roger Curry has been the topic of discussion, as Kevin has, as a lot of people has. And we've been doing research, and I've been doing research, and I got a comment from DP, so I want to give a huge shout out to DP. A huge shout out to DP for letting me know that Alan Roger Curry's wife had a GoFundMe account set up and made for them. That's right. They had a GoFundMe account set up and made for them, ladies and gentlemen. This is the page, if you're looking at your screen right now, of the GoFundMe Curry Legacy Fund. The GoFundMe reads this: "Greetings, my name is Stephen Curry, the brother of late author and professional dating coach Alan Roger Curry. And we are raising funds for my late brother's wife and son. Half of the proceeds will go to their immediate cost of living expenses, and the other half will go to Caden's Education Trust Fund. Thank you in advance for your generosity, the Curry family." Now, what's interesting about this is that a lot of people had speculated that he had financial assets and resources and things of that nature. A lot of people speculated that she was with him essentially before the 30-year age gap difference, her being 30 or 31 and him being 60 or 59. We assumed that it was because he was a man that was in a financial or financially beneficial position for her, right? And we've talked about the natural rules and how this is a natural type of, reaction or dating law. But it turns out that that wasn't as much the case. It looks like there was not that many financials available. It looks like there wasn't any health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, tooth insurance. I'm not sure about the insurances, but there definitely wasn't life insurance set up for Alan Roger Curry's wife. His brother's setting up this GoFundMe account for him because the reality of the situation is that while Alan Roger Curry was one of the originators, if not the originator of the Red Pill Manosphere group that is pretty pervasive online, he didn't receive the flowers per se in the way that might have been monetarily advantageous to him or just, personally, right? He didn't get that many views. He didn't get that many toward the later portion of his entire campaign or push, right? Now, for a good amount of time, he was with 21 Studios and he was able to do a few things and, really have a certain backing behind him, yada, yada, yada. And this is actually how we found out about the GoFundMe. It's on 21 Studios homepage. Once again, huge shout out to DP for finding this. But this goes against everything that a lot of these manosphere guys were speaking of in regards to this case. Now, whether she liked him for him, financial assets, because she was just a bit manipulated, because they were genuinely in love, all these other different types of things, that's not necessarily even the point of contention right now. The bigger point of contention is that one of the Red Pill content creators' wives at this point is going to have to rely on, because he wasn't able to manifest monetarily the same movement that he started. Okay, just let me get you to understand. This is 21 Studios, literally, and I want you to understand. I want you to see something. Look at this picture that you're looking at the screen right now. 21 Studios said, "Rest in peace, Alan," and they have a picture of the guys that did truly start the manosphere: Andrew Hassan, Stephen Arnio. I don't even know that guy. I think it's Stephen Arnio, Pat Campbell, Kevin Samuels, Alan Roger Curry. These are the guys that started it, right? They have him enshrined in what's the name of this thing called? The monument? Mount Rushmore. They have his face inscribed in Mount Rushmore. Thank you, baby. And they call it Mount Manosphere. Okay? So his legend is legendary. So I want you to understand this. This is Mount Manosphere you're looking at. And what has Mount Manosphere given to Alan Roger Curry? So, as much as black men speak about brotherhood, and this is why we need to start having these conversations, as much as black men speak about brotherhood and this, and that, and this, and that, the reality of the situation is you're going to have a hard time garnering support from your brothers. And we can see that that's actually evident in the 21 Studios live or YouTube page. They have 505,000 subscribers right now, right? 505,000 subscribers. And they are a pretty tight-knit community. They got the merch and they support each other very much. I wanted to bring that to your attention. They're also the ones that were responsible for putting the GoFundMe page on, right? On their page. But that's not the most interesting part about this, and stick with me here because we got a lot to talk about tonight. That's not the most interesting part about this, no. It got even crazier from there. Now, we know that black men don't like to support other black men. We know that black men don't believe in community. We know that black men don't believe in actually sacrificing for anybody else other than themselves and their immediate gratification. But then every once in a while, there is a black man that has no problem giving. And there was somebody on this GoFundMe page that had no problem getting $2,000 to Alan Curry and the Curry Legacy Fund. And some of y'all will know his name, but his name goes, it's a little something like this: Glendon Cameron. That's right. Glendon Cameron is the top donator on this GoFundMe with the $2,000 donation. $2,000 donation. Glendon Cameron. If you don't know who Glendon Cameron is, buckle up. This is Glendon Cameron, and he's actually still fledging on YouTube right now. The Economic Shogun has 139,000 subscribers. If you've been a member on the channel for a decent amount of time, the man that you're looking at right now is probably one of the sickest men on the internet. But not just sick for the reasons that you might be assuming, even though the reason that you're assuming is 100% correct. What I'm getting ready to show you right now, and this is, if you have, kids in the room, this is not that bad, but it's definitely sensitive material, is really a sign of just how twisted the manosphere is in so many ways. And I want to bring light that Alan Roger Curry made sure to mention, and we speak about this and we spoke about this, that he's not a part of the manosphere, but I need you to understand that the top contributor to his fund was not only a manospherian, but arguably one of the most twisted and demented people on the internet once again. All right, let's listen to this. Check this out. This is a guy named, I forget this name. Was it Repzilla? And so shout out to Repzilla for covering this. The video has been taken down, and so you need to go to a certain place to be able to watch it. But Repzilla covered this. And really, fascinating stuff here.
Did I have a gun to their head? Did I ask them to reply to my ads? Video, and I told you I had all these high school girls answering my Craigslist ads. Did I have a gun to their head? Did I ask them to reply to my ads? They were searching this out.
Now, in this video you're watching, it's crazy. In the video that you're watching right now, this is Glendon Cameron describing how he was able to or the situation surrounding him dating and talking to these 15-year-old girls, where online he admitted to talking to and to dating 15-year-old girls, right? Just unbelievable stuff, right? He even did it on the lead attorney's live stream, right? Let's get a load of this.
You're talking and getting nudes from a 15-year-old. That is a crime in Georgia. That's the sexual exploitation of children.
Yes,
and
it is.
It's a felony grade crime, and it goes from 5 to 20, right? 5 years to 20 years.
And once I found out she was 15, I stopped talking to her and I deleted the pictures.
Gotcha. All right. But still, even if you don't know.
Right. Christ. All right.
I know. A lot of men have gotten caught up because.
All right. So let's shout out to Anton Daniels, shout out to lead attorney, shout out to Repzilla. Anton Daniels also did a video on this, talking about this particular situation, calling him out, saying that the reason why people like him are able to continue doing what they do is because not only the fact that he's a millionaire, that's right, Glendon Cameron's a millionaire, Balenciaga. Don't worry though, because the same twisted, demented mindset that Glendon Cameron, Alan Roger Curry, and all these manosphere guys, all these manosphere guys, peruse around in, the same twisted mindset. It's getting ready to be put on blast. Don't worry, winter is coming. So, the top donator to the fund is Glendon Cameron. That's Glendon Cameron. Okay. Now, he does his apology. He does his long-winded video. Rest in peace, Alan Roger Curry. Much respect, much respect, much respect. He's still free today because, once again, he has a lot of money. He can pay for some protection. This is you get to pay to play to a certain extent. with the legal systems. Depending on everything that's been going on, I don't know what's been happening with the case. We might follow up on that in a little bit or a little bit later. Right? But the narrative of going after these young girls, stick with me because this is going to add up in the end, is something that the manosphere reverberates non-ending. This is a clip by Coach Greg Adams. Check this out. It's called Coach Greg Adams Explain Erectile Dysfunction and How to Get Over It with the Junior College.
Erectile dysfunction comes from not being able to be aroused by the same person. So you got 60-year-old people that have been married for 35 years, and they wonder why this dude can't get it up no more. And she believes he can't get it up for anybody. But I guarantee you, if she brought home somebody from the junior college who needed some textbooks, he'll be full salute. Reporting for duty, he'll be ready to go.
So these guys joke about stuff like this, right? About a girl going to the junior college, needing textbooks, and obviously being in the position monetarily to be able to take advantage of that, right? And they do it all the time. So we see these scandals and we see these issues and we see people burning the Balenciaga and we see people doing all these other different types of stuff and things when the manosphere also does and says has the same exact predatory type of nature that a lot of people are upset at Balenciaga for. Oh yeah, they do the same exact thing. They say the same exact thing in the same exact way. It's sick. It's amazing to listen to. It's sick. It's fascinating, right? And so what's been happening is they've been preaching this message. A while back, I did a live stream on what's known as Peter Pan syndrome. Men who are boys at heart, able-bodied grown adults who still haven't matured out of the childlike mindset. And this is a large portion of the manosphere. As much as men like to rag on women for age, so many men live as if they're 15 to 20, 25-year-olds perpetually forever. Forever and ever. There's a manosphere content creator I watched named Alpha Villains. And Alpha Villains has a mantra, and he says 48, never too late, 49, the hoes are mine. As he says it every single show in the beginning of his show, he says this, 48, never too late, 49, the hoes are mine. I tell you what, I haven't even pulled it up, but I'll pull it up for you really quickly just to get you to understand the mindset that a lot of these guys are walking around in. They truly believe that at 48 years of age, life is just now starting out and blossoming for them. Let's see if we can find it really quickly, shall we? We'll see how long it takes to try and find it.
Okay. Guys, we're going to talk about why life can be so goddamn disappointing. Pop my cherry.
Let's see. Oh, I don't know what he's talking about. All right, we're going for 30 seconds.
5 rules.
Let me see if we can find it. Come on.
YouTube space, the red pill community.
Oh, we got about
Guys,
15 seconds.
Check out my merchandise. No sympathy.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Nature 101.
We are
To amaze me, man, but we got to put ourselves in a position
out of time. We are out of time. I tried to find the clip for you saying it. Usually he's always dropping it. He drops it constantly. 48, never too late. 49, the hoes are mine. Right. 48, never too late. So it's Peter Pan syndrome. The reality of the situation is it might be too late for you at 48 to try and make some extreme severe changes as far as life goes. It might be too late. The concept that at 50 years of age, your life is just beginning is blissful ignorance at best. Now, to push this ignorance further by gaslighting women, telling them that somehow you're becoming better while women become worse is asinine. Right. This is the Peter Pan syndrome. Do you remember Kevin talking to women, talking about women, saying that men get better as they age? And this isn't limited to Kevin Samuels. All men in the manosphere believe that they stop aging at 27. 37, 47, 57. They believe that they're 27 in the head. And they'll use it to we make more money when we get later in the careers and in the future. We're more established. We're more this. We're more that. We're more this and we're more that. So by the time we become 27 and by the time we become 47 and 57, we're so established that, it's winter for the women that are our age now. If we decide to date, we're about to date younger. We're about to. And it seems hard on the outside for a lot of people and for women to debate these types of talking points. Now, it's ignorant because everybody ages, right? So to try and peg somebody with a negative on aging is crazy. I mean, imagine the audacity imagine the ignorance to try and sit and deprave somebody, to try and sit and shit on somebody or demoralize somebody for the gift of life. Think about that. The gift of life, the very breath that you have each day, every year that you've been given, that you've been fortunate to live with. There are people out there that want you to think that that's a curse unto you. I want you to understand that. This concept, though, is easy. The men who believe that they are just aging like wine and women age like milk, as they say, right? Men age like wine. Let me ask you a question, and let me paint a scenario for you. It's a very obvious scenario. And they know the answer to this. But this is the way that you defeat a very stupid talking point. Okay? You take a woman that's 22, and you take a man that's 42. We'll say 25. Take a woman that's 25, a man that's 25, and another man that's 45. So one woman, two men. Now, most men in this dating and gender war competitions make each and every single effort to let you know as a woman how horrible your age is, that winter is coming for you. It's just a matter of time before eventually everything, civilization comes collapsing down on your face. You're going to have to end up chasing back to him and then the older guys and then shit. So it's just a matter of time. Winter, winter, winter. And then after a certain amount of time, you have nothing else to offer to the world. Do you imagine? That's how they plan to go and get women back on your side. Good luck. It's inhumane. Now, the 25-year-old and the 45-year-old man both make the same amount of money. Both have the same car. Both have the same this. Both have the same that. Both have the same everything. And I know your point's going to be to argue, well, truth, that's not what happens between 25 and 45 and this and then that and then this and then that. Well, we're painting a picture here that it's not the age of a man that's desired in the way that you're thinking, because these guys quite literally think that they're better, right? Because they make more money later in life due to age or whatnot. But the point here is this. If both men at 25 and 45 make the same amount of money, all things constant, and I don't know if y'all know, but the way that the digital age is going, job structure is changing. People are making money online. Kids are starting to hustle. Things are changing, y'all. If both the 25 and the 45-year-old, all things remaining constant, social status, friends groups, everything, who do you think that the 25-year-old woman is going to choose? If everything's the same between the 25 and the 45-year-old, who do you think she's going to choose? Of course, 99% of the time she's going to choose somebody that's of her age group, of her demographic. She's not going to look at the situation and be like, oh, wow, this guy is 20 years older than me. He's so much more better than the guy who's my age, right? That's not going to be a contributing factor in her head for most women. I'm not saying some women out there don't like the older guy, but for most women, all things equal, she's going to choose somebody that's in her age group and her demographic, if she has the ability and if all things are equal. Right? So the contributing factor to this discussion as far as it goes to men is that men like to use this argument, oh, we do this later in life, we do this, we do this, we do this, we do that. In reality, the time that they have to actually be able to enjoy the fruitions or the fruits of their labors is 5 to 10 years most by the time you get to your 40s. If you start making seriously good money in your 40s, well, 10 to 15 years if you're lucky as a black man, right? So by the time you end up getting to that level, you don't have that much time left truly, right? Now, what's fascinating about this is that still yet, after hearing point after point after point after point after point, most men in the manosphere don't want to become better men. They don't want to they don't want to make money earlier. They don't want to put in the hard work. They don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to do anything. They'd rather the women to lower their standards and destroy them online, to try and manipulate them and do whatever. They'd rather the standards of women to be lowered so they're able to go forth and prosper, right? They want to go forth and prosper. And this is related in the article from Psychology Today, says what's behind the rise of lonely single men. Men need to address their deficits to meet healthier relationships expectations. I'm sorry, Greg Matos wrote this article, and it was like a bombshell, right? It was a bombshell. A lot of people were talking about this for a long time. It was written on August 9th. It was written by a white guy, but arguably the principles apply to black men even stronger. And so what we're going to read for a second is an article on the Medium that says single black men are blaming black women for their loneliness, and it's not okay. Moon Bastet wrote this on the Medium. Single men are unevolved, and that's not women's fault. We've said this on this channel I don't know how many times, and I just got done telling you that the market, even for jobs, is changing right now. Young cats today, thanks to the digital market, YouTube, and all different types of medians, no pun intended, are making more money and are starting to catch up to, the people who are in the later generations. And it's interesting. Things are balancing out. The typical 9-to-5 structure is starting to phase out. Automation is starting to become more popular. And as a result of that, people are starting to realize that there's a new wave that's happening. And if you're not going to end up taking a part of the new wave, you might end up getting left behind. And that's exactly what's been happening with the dating market. The dating market has fundamentally changed. All right. The economy in Western society has fundamentally changed. There's a lot of fundamental changes that have happened, but people are still living, black men in general, but black men especially, always referring to Big Bertha being submissive in the 40s, are living in days past where they can't seem to catch up. And we hear it about the slavery. We hear it about the gosh dang, we hear it about everything. All things in the past, it's all conversations we have to keep talking about, and we can't let them go. We always have to be reminded about the Oklahoma street bombings and how the black men had a good utopia, but they had it taken away by the white men. We always have to be reminded about some random black person that was killed 23 years ago by a police officer. It's like we never quite get past it, but what's happened now is that due to the inefficiency to look forward or to plan forward or to care about anything else other than oneself, looking into the future, they're finding themselves in lackluster positions or unevolved. So let's go back to this article. This is fascinating. This woman says, I took the time to chat with an angry single black male today. He was upset. He felt that black women simply didn't want black men or any man anymore. He believes that black women don't, quote, need black men or any man anymore. His tone, unbeknownst to him, betrayed a vitriol in him, in the black male collective, that is troubling and disappointing. He seemed to be, unbeknownst to him, speaking from a space of desperation. He mentioned his own fears. He was afraid that black women, now, quote, overeducated and riddled with, quote, Karen selfishness, the article goes on to say whatever the F that is, would, without black men, die alone and early. Black women, he spat, would ultimately regret their college degrees. This brother, this angry black man, insisted that black women were in a downward spiral that would reduce them to failures with money. Girlfriends, life experience, children, and degrees, but nothing of value. The article goes on to say, and we'll finish it up with saying that he stated, quote, all he wanted was a good effing woman that wasn't selfish. And he didn't give a F about her degrees, just wanted love and the comfort from a loving black woman that actually wanted a black man. Let's go ahead and take some time to watch a video here.
Majority of men don't even... I think the majority of men don't even get... Like, men's life, generally, average men, is a very lonely existence. Whereas women don't get... Okay, so an average woman...
So let's just pause it right here, okay? Average men have a lonely existence. He's right. And going forward, the average man will continue to have a lonely existence, exasperated, because once again, things are changing. The average man will continue to feel exactly the way he feels so long as he continues to lie to himself, so long as he continues to not chase anything above average. And this is the danger with being average. You see, Kevin used to tell, and he'd repeatedly tell women, you should go, you're average, you're average at best. You need to go after average man. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to do that. Average is fine and dandy. I understand not everybody can be rich. I get that. However, average in 2023 and having the average mindset is de-evolution. As a man, you cannot have an average type of mindset in the year 2023. Times have changed. It's not 1983. You can't have that mindset anymore, right? But black guys are unwavering in this mindset that somehow we need everything to be kind of given back to us, reparations. We need the women to come back to us and understand that we're the kings. We need everybody to see that we were wronged and that we were truly the kings in Egypt, building the pyramids and the palaces, and we were the Jews and we were this, and everybody came after to attack us, yada, yada, yada. So now we're just going to go ahead and wait by. And if for what exactly? Well, let's think about this for a second. Most men are lonely. Most men are lonely. Andrew Tate went on the Fresh and Fit podcast. He said the same thing. Most men are lonely.
The majority of men are.
Yeah.
And you need to truly understand, if you're Joe Schmo, average in nearly every way, in Starbucks working, you ain't getting a DM ever.
So, this is why guys are in the funk that they're in right now. You need to understand, the average guy is not getting a response on the dating end as far as that goes. But now even going forward, the average guy in 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, with the average mindset, is not going to be able to survive. I looked up something. And it reminded me of why the black community has so many issues. And I was thinking about so many different concepts, future planning, and all the conversations I've had with people. I've been looking at all these comments I've been getting on the first Winter is Coming videos and reading these comments. And then it hit me. I said, these guys aren't even thinking about the future, man. They're not thinking about the future. Niggas don't think about the future. I want you to do something. Go to YouTube and type in food prepper shortage. I typed in, and give me 1 second. We'll come back to this. I typed in food prepper shortage because I've been seeing in the news, I've been seeing constantly that there's going to be a shortage of food. There's going to be things that have been happening. I've been seeing this for so long. Alaska prepper, he's not black, but we'll just consider him the one black person I saw here. And I saw one black girl. Shout out to her. But every other prepping video that I found was either black women or white men. And I mean white women. And I mean every single video I found was black women or white men. Every single prepping video. What does that mean? What is a prepper? A prepper is somebody that plans for the worst, plans for apocalyptic environments. A prepper is somebody that plans for the power grid failing or for a tragedy happening or mass pandemic. And so they stockpile fruits, vegetables. Their freezer is always full. The deep freezer is always full. They have canners, pressure cookers, pressure canners. They know how to make all kinds of preservatives. They know how to make all kinds of food items and cook, and they know how to start fires without electricity. Preppers plan for the very worst, right, in society. Preppers are the people that think ahead and make sure that no matter what happens, they're going to be covered for, right? Prepping is more on the white side, I guess you could say, of, whatever it might be. I'm not just trying to say that, but it's like a little whole prepping culture. They have their videos and they kind of, really get into the entire prepping thing, and they'll convene, hey guys, this week I'm,
Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Got a story out of the hedge. I want to share it with you.
So they literally plan on societal collapse. They plan on society collapsing one day. In the case that it ever does truly collapse, they'll be ready, right? They'll be ready. Let me show you something else. Some of y'all heard about this. China has what's known as a 100-year plan. China has what's known as a 100-year strategy. The Trumpet brought this article to light. Beijing has been documenting how they plan to be the global superpower by 2049. They're almost halfway of the way there, the article goes on to say. Americans think in 4-year election cycles. Chinese leaders think in terms of centuries. The Chinese people dutifully follow the program their paramount leader has laid out in the governance of China. Xi promises they can achieve what he terms the China dream by the year 2049, exactly 1 century after founding of the People's Republic of China during the Chinese Communist Revolution. And that's exactly why you see Chinese people in Africa right now. Because Chinese people plan for the future. Black males haven't. So Chinese people have seen the power and the economic opportunity that black males had the potential to garner through their country and through their resources. But black males weren't able to do that. Africans weren't able to do that. For hundreds of years, I don't know why the richest mineral continent in the world isn't able to dominate. Literally the world's largest population at one point. The most resources, and the landmass of Africa is absolutely scarily massive. But there was no plan for the future. There was no plan at all. Now in the next 50 to 100 years, you're going to start seeing more Chinese South Africas in Africa. More areas that are going to be more strictly Chinese or Blasian. And then eventually you're going to start seeing more Chinese stores in Africa, right? And then eventually the African economy is going to start to add to the Chinese continent's economy. Right? But this is all in the plan. This is all because they're looking to the future. What's interesting about this is that China has a 100-year plan. Europe is trying to go to the cosmos. Africa and Haiti are too busy trying to get running water. But more so, instead of trying to make the 100-year plan amongst our own people, amongst our own brothers, instead of trying to actually go forth and build something inside of our own country, which, and get this is mind-numbing to me. I don't know why. Why so many black guys, I don't know, I don't understand this. Get this. Instead of trying to go back to build the black man's dream in a continent that's cheap to live in, with some of the most, if not the most shapely, it's the most shapely women in the world, African women. This is a known fact. The prototype. Cheapest place in the world. No white police officers, since all the white officers are killing black men. A lot of guys think. Yeah, I haven't seen a single black manosphere and content creator or a single black guy moving to Africa. Zero. Except for O'Shea and maybe like one other person. Instead, black dudes push a narrative that Southern American countries are where they need to be, or wherever other country. Just plug in your favorite country. That's where we need to go. No need to build up your own community when you can simply borrow somebody else's, right? So think about this. You have the concept of the passport bros telling you that you need to go find a woman overseas because the women here in America or black women here in America aren't where it is. They never consider their own country, their own lands, their own people that look like them, where they wouldn't have to face the injustices from the evil white people that they seek to go date anyways. I guess the white men are evil, but the white women's are not, right? And I'm not taking a stance on that. I'm just trying. It's just very stupid. But there's not a single push need to establish something as ours or black males. There's none of that. Black men would rather save up money and go to Brazil every 4 months than move to Africa and build up Africa. They would rather save their money, go to Brazil for 2 weeks every 4 months, and then come back to the United States, grind, and do it all over again, than to go over to Africa and go make their own Brazil. You could make Africa could have been made a literal utopia by now. Now the plane ticket's extremely expensive, but if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, right? But there's no plan for the future. There's no 100-year plan for black people. There's no 50-year plan. We don't save our money together in bank accounts like the Chinese people do, right? We don't build a bunch of, and I saw this video on Cerebrals. And shout out to Cerebral, man. Cerebral has been absolutely killing it. So shout out to Cerebral. I saw this video on Cerebral's platform, and it was very telling. It was like, wow, that's a huge point. And if I don't find the video, I'll just describe it to you. But what it was a woman was in a supermarket showing the Hispanic supermarkets, right?
Where their men built a sense of community on American soil. Fresh meats. And they got butchers back there. They come into their neighborhoods.
Now, she went on to kind of explain, how they have, and she showed a few different, once again, make sure you subscribe to Cerebral. Cerebral, Cerebral. She wanted to describe how they have, layouts, and you've all been there before. We've all seen little Mexico, little China, whatever it might be, where it's just the entire block is all the same people, right? You're like, damn, it's like, hey, we're here. It's almost normal at this point. You know what I mean? It's almost normal at this point. You got little Mexico. You got the bodega, right? You got the bodega if you're in New York. Where's little Africa? Now, in New York, they do have some small, very small sections where there are African cuisines, and African people did take over small parts. Only in New York. At least that's the only place I've seen it. But there's no little Africa. Right? There's no portion where in every single state you could see that there's a small area where black people have taken over and black men have taken over and made black. There's nothing like that. No, what we do see is the black women are starting to start tons of virtual businesses, right? Even myself. GotSerum.com is a business that was started by my girlfriend. You get what I mean? That was her work that went into the body wash. You know what I mean? Like I was able to go ahead and package it and make it look really cool. And if somebody donated on the Cash App, I appreciate that. If you donate on Cash App, thank you so much for the donation. But even GotSerum.com is a product of her. Now, it's my job to try and make that everything I can. You know what I mean? To try and build and put and make this a generational effort. That's my job, and that's what I'm going to do. Right? Because I'm looking towards the future. Everything I do today is not for me. Everything I do right now is for little Jonathan who comes in the future. And my family who's going to be with me in the future. I can't make decisions for myself right now because I'm not going to, it's not just going to be me that I'm making decisions for. This is where this is why we as a black people will continue, because to have a conversation of unselfishness and thinking about and making decisions solely for, right, your immediate family, it goes against the manosphere. It goes against these conversations that these content creators, these narratives that these content creators put out online. It goes against men going their own way. It goes against not dating, are dating women with children. It goes against sacrificing for your community, holding the door open for women. Just it goes against basic levels of. I mean, I'm not even not dating women, which I mean, it's gotten to the point now to where it's gotten to a point now to where like this whole hating women because they have a child thing is like, bro, it's like y'all want these women to fucking die or something. It's like y'all want them to be dead. You know what I mean? It's like y'all want them to be fucking dead. And on the most macro and micro level, those same groups of women that y'all like literally want to be dead, man, are the ones that are responsible for building the businesses, having the most education, for having the. So what do you think's gonna happen? y'all, what do you think's gonna happen when you not only don't plan for the future, you hate the women that are planning for their future, you turn your backs against the women that are getting the money from the most powerful group of people in the world? You yourself don't build any businesses. You yourself have the lowest or the least lengthy life cycle. You die the quickest. You're the most uneducated. You're the least desired male. You're the least earning male. What do you think's going to happen in the year 2049 when China finally gets on their stuff? The United States is still kind of doing their stuff, and Africa slowly but surely starts to disappear. Let's fast forward 2100, 2200, the year 2300. Now I know we're all humans. I get all of that. I get we're all equal. I do. China's 100-year strategy. The long winter. The reality is that I could sit here on this live stream and I could quite literally bring the most revolutionary, revelational knowledge. I could quite literally give the most dynamic, introspective wisdom that you would ever hear in your life. And there'll be some nigga out there chomping at the bit, ready to send me a comment or an email that I read a few sentences of, telling me that I got the game messed up, telling me that I'm a panderer, telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, telling me that I'm a simp, telling me that I'm a blue pill white knight, telling me that I'm this, telling me that I'm that. When literally all I tell them and all I talk about is looking towards the future and becoming the biggest boss you can be as quickly as you can be it. That's all the message is for black men, is to stop being such freaking losers. That's literally the only message. I know I keep cutting it from the scene. I do like the scene right here, but we'll go back to it in a second. But I do like the scene right here. That's literally my only message. It doesn't matter how you feel, why you feel, who you feel, when you feel. The only thing that matters is what you feel. Did I say what you feel doesn't matter? I take it back. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is what you feel. The only thing that I feel is the need to go forth and conquer. The only thing I feel is the need to become rich. The only thing I feel is the need to boss up. The only thing I feel is the need to make sure that anybody else that has my last name doesn't have to work for anybody else that they don't want to. That's the only thing that I feel every single day. You know why? Because I can't afford to think any other type of way as a black man. I literally can't afford to. I literally can't afford to. You niggas complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. And then when somebody gets tired or don't fuck with y'all because you complain so much, you call them a coon and you call them a simp or you call them this or you call them that. Because I don't want to complain. Because I don't want to sit here. Because I don't acknowledge. Because I don't have the same problems that you have. Because I tell you the ultimate solution to the problems that you might be experiencing. You just don't like the answer. Because you don't like the answer in what you truly have to become in life. Because it's difficult. Maybe you're not smart enough. I don't know what it is. All I know is that for the past 500 years, it hasn't worked out for black men. In my day-to-day findings, in my day-to-day interactions with them, I don't know if we're going to get any closer in the next 500. I'll be honest with you. It's a coin toss when you meet a black man in the streets. It's a coin toss. It's the flip of a coin. You don't know what the hell you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to have a semi-intelligent conversation. You don't know if you're going to have a conversation that divulges into madness. You don't know if you're going to get robbed. You don't know. There's no direction. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, it's 55 minutes. Jeez. Well, listen, y'all. We're gonna have a part 3. We're gonna have a part 3 coming up soon here in a little bit. I've been talking for 55 minutes, so we're gonna have a part 3 coming up here in a little bit. I promise you. If you enjoyed this, make sure you leave a like, leave a thumbs up. It might be a winter part 3, but we'll see. We'll see. It might be a winter part 3. We'll see. Huh? Oh yeah. I think it's gonna be a saga because we still have a good amount to talk about. We still got a good amount to talk about. This is gonna be the winter saga for sure. Okay, we are in winter now, so we'll definitely keep the saga up. Like the video. I want to thank you for donating. If you can't donate, y'all, it helps. The more you donate, the more we can live stream. If we can get a few more donations tonight, we'll be live tomorrow. You know, if not, then I gotta obviously figure out a way to make money. So man, I'll be go live tomorrow. But if you can donate, then go. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate that. We got some good donations, man. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. I know it probably wasn't as exciting as the first one, but don't worry because we got more. We got a lot more. We got a lot more. TikTok getting ready to come soon. Be on the lookout for TikTok. Make sure you head over to godserum.com. We're going to post the holiday bags tomorrow on the community tab. I've been saying that. I'm not going to keep saying that anymore. I will just be posting it. If the audio and the video quality wasn't that good, I apologize. I've been getting errors all live stream. Hopefully it was decent for you. If it wasn't, then I apologize again. We'll try and have that corrected next time. Admittedly, that kind of took me out of my game a little bit today, you know, because I'm looking at this thing flashing orange and yellow telling me that something's wrong with it and that my bandwidth is not good enough. But I'll try and get that fixed and solved for next time. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. And remember, tick, tock, tick,